you so much, sir, for joining in. You have been to the event. How does it feel like? Is it okay? Is it up to the mark?
Yeah, I think it's a very good event in the sense that you are trying to bring three different streams together. One is the stream of e-governance and how technology can play a big role in the whole government space. If you see the two biggest arms of government or the two biggest things which the citizens are expecting from government is education and health, services in the area of education and services in the area of healthcare. So the fact that you have managed to bring these three things together in sort of one place and one time, I think that is very good, because there can be a lot of cross learning between what is happening in e-governance, what is happening in the area of healthcare services, and what is happening in the area of the education services. So in that sense, I think it's a very good event, plus also the fact that you are getting the people from across the various stakeholder groups, whether it is the government officials, whether it is the political leadership, it is the IT companies, whether it is the ground level users who are actually using these systems. So getting all these 3-4 stakeholder groups together and having them sort of exchange their views, their ideas, their concerns and so on, that I think is a very good format. So I'm very pleased with the way the event has gone.
So you're looking after the government and insurance, Asia Pacific for Mastek. How has been experience in India, especially in the insurance sector, because the government has been trying to reform in a different way. You are looking after leveraging the ICT so that probably the back-end part can be made easy. The benefit to the end user can be easy. It can be easy for the organization also to put together different things. So how do you look at insurance part of your business?
I think the insurance part of our business is, especially from an India perspective, is very, very promising. You see, in India, the penetration of insurance, how many people do have the insurance, is very, very low. Today also, people are not having the adequate life insurance, people are not having the health insurance. So when they fall sick, they have to pay from their own pockets, or they have to borrow from the relatives or friends to pay the medical bills. So in that sense, India is a very under-penetrated market in terms of insurance. The scope for the growth in the insurance industry is very much. And that growth has happened over the last 8-10 years. If you see the number of people who are taking insurance policies, the kinds of policies available, the number of companies, everything has grown. So it has been a very good period for the Indian insurance industry, very high growth period, I would say, for the last 6-7 years. But over the last 1 or 2 years, if you see, which typically happens, that after every high growth period, there is a little slowdown, and then you have to sit back and think that how you are growing, because sometimes the growth happens just without even putting a proper design into it. Just because the market is growing so fast, everything just keeps growing, and then you have not put the right systems in place, not put the right management processes in place, and then suddenly you realize that you need to put some proper thing before you grow for the next phase of growth. So I think the last 1 or 2 years has been a period where the insurance industry has taken a little step back and trying to put the proper products, the proper processes, the proper training for their own employees, for their agents, etc., putting all that into place so that they are ready for the next phase of growth. So in that sense, last 1 or 2 years has been a little slow in the insurance industry, but we are very clear, all the participants in the industry, whether it is the insurance companies, whether it is the distribution channels, or whether it is the technology vendors like us, all of us are very clear that this is only a comma, it is not a full stop kind of thing, So if you say a long sentence, then after that you need to put a comma and then go ahead. In that sense, this is like a comma in the whole growth story, and we are very positive that the growth story will start very soon again. If you see, government has recently also taken certain steps that they are now liberalizing the investment allowed, the FDI allowed in insurance is going to go up from 26% to 49%. Plus they are also thinking of taking some other proactive steps to make this industry grow much faster. And that is going to finally benefit the people, because today if they don't have adequate insurance, then if any bad event happens like sickness or death and so on, then they are left exposed. So in that sense, we see the growth period starting again very soon.
Exactly. Mastek is involved with government. You are doing many projects with the government where IT, your technology is being leveraged to minimize the wastage, minimize the cost, providing the service on the time for better distribution. You specifically look after the insurance part of the business. What are the major challenges that you see, especially in terms of convincing the government that they should leverage technology, and even in terms of the adaptation of those technology by the people?
See, I think I would say that today we don't need to convince government that they need to leverage technology. I think they are already convinced. At a senior level, I would say they are definitely very convinced that they need to leverage technology. So that hurdle we have crossed, I think, few years back, that we have to convince the government, we have to convince the senior decision makers, the bureaucrats or the political leaders. I think that is no more required. I would say at least in 80% of the cases, they are already convinced that they have to use the technology. Where the challenge comes is that the people who are going to use the technology are not the senior people or the secretaries or the ministers. These are actually the junior level officers in the government departments, or they are the citizens. And the level of computer knowledge, the level of computer friendliness which is there in those junior level clerks or the officers who are working in the junior level in government, that is very low. So the resistance to the adoption of the new system, because you can build a very good system, but if it is not adopted and if it is not used, then it is useless. It is like giving iPhone to a person who is 90 years of age. It has so many features, but if he is not going to use them and you are not training him on it, then it is useless. So
tell us something about the major initiative that you want to take, because you are already involved with some of the project. So what all are the futures plan for your organization?
See, I think we are very deeply involved into two sides of government. One is the whole taxation side, where we have done large taxation projects for Maharashtra and Odisha. As you know, Maharashtra is the largest tax collector in the country. I mean, almost 60 to 70,000 crores of tax they are collecting every year, and that is being collected through our system. So that is on the revenue side, because finally government also needs money to if they have to spend. The other projects which we do are typically on the social welfare side. So whether it is the education schemes, whether it is the employment schemes, whether it is, so those are the on the social benefit and social welfare side, because that is one of the biggest areas where government is today spending money. If you see, after the defense spending, the biggest spend area for government today is the social welfare. So we are clearly positioned in these two areas, and our plan is we have some good solutions, we have developed some good capabilities in the states of Maharashtra, Gujarat and Odisha. We have recently started work in two more states, which is Bihar and Rajasthan. It is of course very small work right now, but our plan is that we will take these good solutions and good practices and domain knowledge which we have acquired over the last few years in Gujarat, Odisha and Maharashtra to these other states which we are expanding into, and try and see how we can build better solutions over there, and help those states also sort of take the benefit of some of the solutions. Secondly, of course, one of the big initiatives which almost every IT company who is operating in government space will start working on or has already started working on is the UID linked service delivery. Because now that UID has crossed a large number, now they have almost more than 20 crore registered issued numbers. So the numbers are now significant enough where slowly some services can start moving to UID based service delivery. So that will obviously be another key area where we will be focusing on. The third area which we will focus on is the use of innovative technologies, because we always have this thought process that innovative technologies should not be used in government, or they should be used more in a corporate IT. But what we are noticing is that there are certain innovative technologies which are very useful in the government scenario, because the user base of government is very different. So whether it is a voice based technology, because government systems are a lot of times used by the rural population who maybe they don't know how to read and write very well. So can they use a voice based service? So we are trying to see how some innovative technologies, whether it is in the voice based space, mobile space, etc., can be used in the government projects to sort of deliver the more effective governance at the rural level. So those are the three areas where I think we'll be taking initiatives, spreading out to more states, the UID based service delivery, and the use of innovative technologies to sort of take the solution further.
Services are somehow directed to the e-governance, ICT. India has been actually trying to implement and deployment on a larger scale. How do you look at, are we on right track, especially in this area, use of ICT or bringing e-governance modules to leverage technology for e-governance purpose?
I think we are absolutely on right track. I mean, I don't see, it is just that on this track we need to move faster. Our train is on the right track. I don't think it is on the wrong track. Just that we need to move much faster. If you see, some of our projects are the world-class, world-beating projects. I mean, the whole electronic voting. Today we are one of the few countries which has almost 100% electronic voting. The whole passport issuance which has been done now, it's a wonderful system. If you see the whole system which we have now done for the online distribution of scholarships, today in Maharashtra we are distributing almost 2,000 crores every year completely online. There is not a single manual intervention anywhere. So these kind of systems, I would say, are unparalleled in the world. It is not something and we definitely need to be very proud of them. But given the fact that it is a large country with 35 different states, and so obviously the work done, we can be proud of what we have done, but there is so much more we have to do.
In Gujarat, you are into tax collection?
No, in Gujarat, what we do is we have a project called eKalyan, which is run by the Social Justice Department over there. And the Social Justice Department in Gujarat has almost 240 different schemes for the underprivileged people, whether it is the widows, whether it is the backward caste people, whether it is the students, the orphans, and so on. So they have 240 different schemes which they run through our software. So it is one software which supports 240 different schemes, and it is completely electronic and online. There is no offline, right from the registration of the applicant, verification of the applicant, then seeing which schemes he is eligible for, and then actually disbursing the money, keeping track sometimes that whether the money is disbursed, not disbursed, how he has used that money and all that. So it is an end-to-end online system.
Down the line, where we see Mastek, because you are into business since long, you are working with different departments, you are bringing new solution and technology. Those are very innovative solution which is really providing a good service. So where we see, what are the future ambitions for you?
No, I think I will restrict my comment to the government, India government space. I think clearly our ambition is to be very dominant in certain solution areas which we specialize in, especially like the tax systems, like the social welfare systems. We want to spread our solutions to multiple states in these areas, link it to some of the large government projects like Aadhaar and so on, and bring in very innovative technologies in delivering these solutions. So we will certainly, our ambition is to see Mastek as a very strong player in at least 10 to 15 states in these areas.
Thank you so much for your interaction. It's been wonderful talking.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.